Time for us to engage with one of the brightest smiles that we can meet anywhere on any given morning, which comes from Agent Sharita. Agent Sharita, good morning to you.
Good morning
See
to
what tell you?
you.
See what tell you? Look at that smile. Look at that smile, indeed. Good to have you again, as usual, on the Tuesday morning. Agent Sharita, we want to look today at what it means to be house poor. I have no clue what that means.
Well, house four has to do with the fact, let's be honest, everybody wants their dream house.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wants to get the house that's big enough to have the yard for the kids and the gazebo for the limes, etc., etc. And it is oftentimes that when we hear that we qualify for 525,000, goody, we going for all 525,000.
Yes.
Well, there's some disadvantages to that. So house poor pretty much means that during the month, most of your expenses end up going towards feeding that house.
Mm.
And the reality is that when you go to your financial institution, they try to guide you and give you use certain debt ratios to determine what they're going to lend you. But sometimes there are things that you don't factor in. And then when you get this money that they think is a comfortable pattern for you, you realize, oh shoot, I didn't
Mm-hmm.
plan for other things. And now everything I have is going to this house.
Whoa. So you make yourself poor through the house, so to speak.
Yeah.
And here it is, the house is really consuming all of your disposable income. And while you thought it was a great property because it looks fantastic because of what the friends think, now you find yourself being shy from your friends because you don't like the way now you look because you don't have enough to sustain yourself. And so, how do we avoid finding ourselves in that trap?
Well, first of all, just like with any no, I don't want to say addiction, but with any challenge, you need to classify yourself in that category first. So how do you know that you're a house poor? Well, if you're struggling to make that mortgage payment on time every single month, hmm, might be a possibility. If you keep tapping into your savings to cover your mortgage, that is a possibility. If you find yourself going into debt for everything else, so you have to borrow for furniture, you're using your credit cards for everything else. Um, if you're tapping into your retirement savings, pulling loan money off of that, there's a possibility that you're a house poor. And also, if you find that you spend a significant amount of your income on your home asset, on land tax, on home insurance, on utilities, on maintenance, you may be house poor.
So, but there are some people, one who would say you have to have credit, so you have a credit rating, a credit score of some sort. So it's important to do so. But you're saying just how much credit it is that we have to manage. That's the whole point to the whole thing. And so when we find ourselves having to constantly again spend and spend and spend on the house, to the detriment of our retirement fund, even to the detriment of
Yeah.
our savings, even to the detriment of food, then we
Hmm.
are really caught up in a cycle that proves that the house is consuming us and us not enjoying our house. So let's break the
Yeah.
cycle. I want some tips to break that cycle.
Okay, good. So how do I become cash rich again?
Yes.
Well, first of all, you have to acknowledge the situation you're in. What I would say is before you even buy a house, don't just rely on the financial institution for guidance on what you qualify for. Sit down and think about your lifestyle. A mortgage, for the most part, often takes 15 to 30 years. That coincides with the prime years of your
Mm-hmm.
life.
Mm-hmm.
What else do you want to do? Do you want to go on vacations? Do you want to be able to eat out? If so, you need to factor these things in. So I always recommend that at the start, look at your income. And when you're buying that house, look sometimes if you're buying it as two persons, what could one income afford us? Because you don't know if Billy, your husband, might end up being a paraplegic. You don't know
Yes.
if you're going to lose your job. So look first at what can we get if we use just one income. So if you realize, look, if we sacrifice one income, we could only get $375,000. Well, play in that area between 375 and 425.
Mm-hmm.
Don't go all the way up to what you qualify for jointly.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the first thing beforehand to think about.
Makes sense. Makes tremendous sense. One revenue, one source of revenue goes towards saving. The other one goes towards the investment in the property. So think
Yes.
about really what you can afford, and if it means that you just build a house on one source of revenue. But you know, a lot of people get scared because they're thinking, "But I built it on her." So when it all is said and done, she's going to claim it to be hers. But
Well,
that's not the truth.
no, no, no. So what I'm saying is, if if you're married and you know that jointly two of you pull in 100,000 a year, look conservatively at what you can get if you just use 50,000. So that's what I mean. You still buy it
Yes.
jointly, but you're just looking at what can half the money get you and just go above that. So you're not
Right.
totally maxed out,
Good.
right? Then if you realize in the midst of it all, you need some cash, there are a couple things that you can do to get that cash back in. So let's start by creating a budget. Create a budget. Once you have reviewed that budget, you can then start cutting down on certain areas. So maybe, I mean, do you need the largest cable package when you're watching
Mm-hmm.
TV, or can you handle the just basics? You know,
Yes. Yes.
do you do you need to have the full lawn treatment and hedge cutting treatment every single month, or can you cut the hedge yourself and just get John to cut the lawn? Things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Bring back down some of those monthly payments. Cut down on your home costs to start with. And then look at supplementing your income. You know that you're good at baking sweet bread. You've done it all your life. Why are you just doing it as a hobby?
Mm-hmm.
Try
Mm-hmm.
and pull in your $7 to $10 of bread and push them off, whether it's weekends, Sundays, whatever. As simple as that it is, you might pull in some extra to help bring your payments down.
Mm-hmm.
Or you might do nails and that spare room in the house is empty. Listen, turn that into a nail salon and start pulling in your $300 to $500 a week. And
Mm-hmm.
that will effectively take some of the weight off of you in terms of getting your mortgage and so forth paid.
And if all else fails, disposal.
You ready for it?
Let
If
me hear
all
you.
else fails, and I had a consultation recently with a client on this,
Mm-hmm.
if all else fails, Pearson, sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it.
That's it. Dispose of it. Sell. There's no other alternative at the end of the day because you know the house is eating you. You really have no way. You're not living your life if the house is consuming most or all of your income. So
Listen, if you know that 90% of what I do involves connecting with people whose house has stripped them of their dreams, if y'all only knew how many people I meet who are in trouble because the house that was bought to be hope and excitement is now gloom, doom, and despair.
wow,
Yeah.
wow. That's unfortunate, but there's solutions. And it can start with a conversation with our real estate agent, Agent Sharita Indeed. Remember, you can reach her out at 233-8888, 233-8888. One more time, 233-8888, or on social at Barbados Real Estate 246. Barbados Real Estate 246. Agent Sharita is there to guide and to help. Thank you, as always, Agent Sharita, for joining us today. Let's be house proud, but not be house foolish or become house poor. Let's take the sage advice and see how we can better navigate our way through and live. Just live and enjoy our property. Thank you, Agent Sharita.
You're welcome.
Indeed.